Sheila. A very special Thursday morning to you. Welcome once again to Untengle on the Bridge 99 FM. And a very special morning to Jerry. Are you selecting? I was not listening. But if it is you, you have yourself a wonderful morning also. And of course, thank you very much for your selections. Good morning, Bridge Nation. Certainly hope all is well. And a very special morning to Team Untengle. And you know what happens on a Thursday? We start you off at 11 o'clock, Untengle, and we go through till 2 in the afternoon. So we've been on the theme of protecting Mother Earth as one of our New Year resolutions. It really should be a way of life, but unfortunately it's not. So we have to be intentional about supporting Mother Earth, because it means not supporting ourselves if we don't support Mother Earth. So let us start with this one from Yaxter.
She cried out.
So it's now time for us to untangle the trending. Remember now that today we look at paternity adoption leave now becoming a reality in the public service, and this is effective January 1, 2023. So together with the Untangled producer LaFane, we're going to look at the criteria for eligibility, and of course we invite your thoughts on the matter. Good morning, LaFane.
Good morning, Mama. How are you doing?
I am having a musical high.
I realize. That's what
I'm telling you.
When
really,
the music hits you, you feel
no pain.
Yes.
And to think that so many Jamaicans are on the Rolling Stone magazine's top 200 singers of all times, and Barry's Hammond doing that yet. So you can imagine. Well, that really is a big statement.
It is. And as you mentioned, that not only us here in Jamaica, but worldwide, people recognize us and acknowledge that, we're good at what we do.
Absolutely. And the canary himself, Barrington Levy, you should hear what they said about him, then what they said about Luciana. They were very detailed about why they were selected, and that's just amazing.
Definitely.
All right, your time.
Yes, so as you mentioned, for the first time in Jamaica's history, paternity adoption leave is now in effect for the nation's public sector workers. So it's not all across the board, it's just for public sector workers. And Finance and Public Service Minister Dr. Nigel Clark gave the update in a tweet yesterday. So according to the amended staff order, meals are granted a period of 20 working days with pay for the purpose of spending time with nurturing and caring for a newborn child. Now, that was very interesting to me, the 20 days. That was very interesting to me because is that time sufficient? I mean, the mothers get 40 days. They're trying to increase that to 3 months for public sector workers. That's what the article said. So I don't know. I found that interesting, but
so the mothers get 40 days.
Yes.
And the fathers get 20 days.
Yes, they do.
The mothers definitely need more days.
Yes.
Because they're the ones who went through all the trauma. And they're the ones who breastfeeding and all of that. So you think the fathers should get more?
I think so. I mean, we got some responses from individuals. So let's hear what they have to say, and then we can discuss after.
All right, fine.
Hey, good afternoon, Jamaica, and Happy New Year to everybody. I just want to say that this new legislation has my full support. I remember when my wife and I gave birth to our child in July of 2020, I was able to benefit from special leave so I could stay home, assisting, taking care of my daughter and helping my wife around the house. And also because she had a C-section, there are certain things she couldn't do around the house. Me being at home for the few weeks made a great impact, and I fully support this legislation. It will benefit parental assistance and the nurturing, and just help to make things much better around the house for the family. A man will love this. A father will love this. Everybody will love this. I loved it. It worked for me.
Chances are they can abuse it, but let's hope that good sense will prevail, and people don't just look for the opportunity to go and have litters and be donors just in an effort to get these free time and that sort of thing. But used in the right way, in the next few years, we'll probably be able to see some difference in our youth, because they would have had a father, they would have had a role model, they would have had somebody to emulate, and Jamaica needs it now more than anything else.
I agree with the recent ruling that grants paternal leave to fathers, because, maternity leave have always been on the books for 3 months at least, and in some cases more, depending on the workplace and the relation between the mother and her institution. But it is good to see that the fathers who actually decide to man up to their responsibilities are now given the opportunity to help support the mother in that first 3 months of the child's life.
I believe it is a step in the right direction, and I do hope that other sectors will come on board shortly. Being a mom of 2 who had emergency C-section for both babies, especially the first few weeks postpartum can be extremely difficult, and having the support of your spouse is really a plus. So it is really a step in the right direction.
Yeah, really paternity and adoption leave for us. I think in the grand scheme of things though, it is, for me, I'd want to consider it a move in the right direction, in light of the fact that most of our young people, young men on a whole, have lacked a kind of fatherly advice and direction, and hence our crime is where it is at. So anything that we can do at this time to kind of help the young people to channel their energy, or to set better role models, or somebody that they can emulate. So if it means that a child who does not have a father, or a father who is a real father, gets an opportunity to bond more with a child, I think it is all good for me, and I'm all for it.
Well, I think that's a good idea if it's going to work. If the man them will actually stay home in the home and help with the kids, fine by me.
I think
Yes.
Yeah. I think we've kind of heard.
Right.
We've heard mostly from the men.
Right.
And that's a good thing.
Exactly.
Yes.
That's really what I wanted to hear,
Right.
what some of them were saying, their feedback, how they felt about it. And as you can hear, that most of them are in agreement with it, because they think that it will help, that nurturing period that's necessary, especially, as a male or a female, you need your father around. So in those formative years or months of a child's life, it is very important that they have that fatherly bond. So
We're making a lot of assumptions, though, I mean, it's a wonderful thing, but there are many assumptions. And, a lot of these assumptions can, I don't know, like, let us say, for example, the fathers that we heard from are fathers who perhaps would have already taken time out
Right.
to be with their families.
Right.
Even the first one that we heard.
Right.
He would have already taken some kind of time out to be with his family and to help. What about those men who will get the leave and don't do that with the leave? Because there is that too,
yeah, I think the last voice note that we heard was from a female, and she was saying
Right.
if they take it and they actually stay home with the mother and the child.
Right.
Because as you mentioned, that some will probably take it and don't do what they're supposed to do. So
I'm happy that the fathers have so many positive responses, because I really want to look at some of what can slip through the cracks, right? Like a while ago, we were listening to people who are actually either living with their partners or married to their partners. And the paternity leave, although well-intentioned, would perhaps serve those parents who live together more than the parents who don't live together.
Right.
Because all the C-section, a lot, twice I heard that come up.
Right.
A lot of the chores that would have to be done is where women really would benefit from that father being on leave.
Definitely.
But if he doesn't live in the home, will it serve her?
That's the thing. That is the thing. That's a very good point, because who then will, you can't dictate to a person that, okay, you have to be there if you're not living together. That the onus is on the individual to be responsible or compassionate or caring enough to say, if you get this leave, this is what you are supposed to do, or this is what is expected of you to do.
Exactly. So we're just hearing from caring fathers, and perhaps that's the kind of father who would very quickly answer a question from you, a caring father. But
Maybe the others wouldn't be so honest.
or probably wouldn't even want to answer the question,
Right.
because them know what them plan for do it for them. I don't want to be negative, Lafayne, but I'm just hoping that we're just not giving time to the kind of men who will use this time to make another baby somewhere else.
Right.
Because without wanting to be cynical, the reality of our situation here in Jamaica is that most women don't have the kind of men that we just heard from a while ago.
That's right.
Fathering their children.
That's
In
right.
fact, a lot of women here in Jamaica can't find the father for them children.
Oh,
and
boy.
them can't find him on one hand, and then on the other hand, him get in gone on leave.
Wow. But interestingly, the maternity leave is no more, you can't get maternity leave for more than 3 occasions. So if you have a 4th child, then I don't know what will hold true for that, but I suppose the same will hold true for the paternity leave. So it's a lot of gray areas that we'll need to work through, as you
Right.
mentioned. So
And we need to look at the eligibility, because
Right.
I think that would make a big difference as to who gets that leave and what qualifies that man for that leave.
Well, first they have to be 18 years or older, and they have to be working at least 12 months of consecutive service. So that was highlighted that, there are certain conditions that have to be met before you are eligible to receive this paternity leave. So you
Right.
can't just say, oh, you work for like 1 month or 2 months, and then you just jump up, say you have a child and you're applying for leave. No, there are certain conditions that have to be met. So
Right. And even while we look at the conditions that have to be met, we have to be very careful too, because we don't want to lay down conditions that prejudice other fathers.
Exactly.
So we have to
Exactly.
be so very careful about that eligibility thing. But just finally, my final thought, Lafayne, I could not help but think that now that we've done this, I think it's obviously a step in the right direction.
It is.
And for the fathers who are real fathers, we heard from them a while ago, and obviously they are happy. There's something else that we could think about as we move forward,
Right.
and it will be very empathetic, very also a first, and that would be having some kind of nursery for employers of government.
Definitely.
Because at the workplace, a lot of concerns that women have is actually leaving those children after they've nursed them.
Yes, definitely.
And there are some first world countries who are long gone into that. They are setting up nurseries at the workplace where mothers can go and breastfeed
Yes.
in their break. They can bond with their children in the break, and I'm sure that would really make mothers very, very happy. And we need to probably start thinking about
Along those
that
lines.
the next time.
Right. Vision 2030. But as you said, a lot of countries, this is something that should be like a no-brainer, because one of the respondents, I didn't think we're playing it, but he was saying that in Canada, the mother gets, I think it was 6 months or something like that, and he was saying, why is it just reserved for the public sector workers? Why not,
Right.
have it across the board? So that is
Right.
also something that we can look into. But as you said, that period right after the mother has to leave her child, that I can imagine how frightening that must
It
be.
is. It is. And private sector, there are some private sector companies that are doing it already.
Right.
There may not be many, but I know that there are private sector companies who are actually doing it. And it's just something that we can think about now that we've taken this step and gotten this out of the way, a wonderful step, and gotten
Definitely.
this out of the way. Let us now look at creating nurseries in the workplace where newborn or new
Mothers,
moms
yeah.
can go and bond with their children. They can breastfeed because oftentimes mothers will tell you that the milk back up on them while they're at work. And when that is happening, the only thing that is on their mind is that baby. So if
Right.
them can just have a space where them can just go and feed the baby, I think it would be a much more productive space.
Definitely.
If she can just come back after that and concentrate on her job.
Perfect. Perfect note to end on, Mama. Spoken like a true mother.
You'll get there.
Yes, one day.
And then when you get there, you'll remember this conversation.
Yes, I most definitely will.
Yes.
Yes.
So good move.
Yes, definitely. And we hope that the powers that be are listening so that we can implement what Mama Elise just said in the workplaces.
Right. So you know what I'm going to ask you to do, Lafayette. I know we have a commercial break, but before we take the Marjorie, I'm going to play a song. After with the commercial break, I'm going to play a song from Taurus. And this really underscores the love and support of men for their newborn babies.
Definitely,
All
definitely.
right. Okay, so it is now time for us to have our guest for the morning. And we're ready, Laugh? I hope we are. So we're going to be having a conversation with Javoy Barnes. All right, so morning, Javoy.
Morning, greetings, greetings.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks, and thanks for asking. All right, so you are a past student of Godfrey Stewart High School, and there's quite a journey that you went through before you, it says here, you got baptized when you were 6 years old. So at 6 years old, getting baptized, were you conscious of what you were actually getting yourself into?
Yes, I was conscious. I was the one that actually cried to get baptized.
What was it, the water?
No, I was at a crusade and they were showing a display of the hellfire and and what's gonna happen to who don't get saved, and that touched me as a child. So that was the reason for me getting baptized, because I understand what hell and heaven is
Okay,
at that
so
age.
it sounds as though, hold on. It sounds as though you were scared into getting baptized.
Well, I wouldn't say I was scared. I wasn't scared, but
But if you are being shown pictures of hellfire and all the things that is going to happen to you if you don't get baptized, me da go in there too. Me da baptized too.
maybe that's the level of understanding that I had as a child, as a kid. But
Yeah.
now it's a different understanding.
Yeah. Okay. So you got baptized at age 6, but then after a while you stopped attending church. And take us through all of that. So what, after you got baptized at 6 because you did afraid, so you go ahead and you go burn up in there.
Yeah.
Then because it's that. Me not going to sit down here and go on like, at 6 I got a spiritual awakening. If you did stay in a church, but you came out. Let us talk about that.
Well, I was getting baptized when I was 6. I was going to church until I was like 20 years old. Never stopped. Right in the period when COVID came in, church, like face to face and church wasn't keeping. So it's online church and so on. So in that period, it's like I lost interest in everything about church. I got
Wow.
distracted.
Wow. That's very interesting. So, because you weren't going to church anymore, you lost interest. So, wasn't church about the Almighty or was it about the socialization?
At that point, I wasn't spiritually um strong, or I just go to church because I grew up going to church. So it's a difference now from then. I wasn't spiritually interested.
But then was just in 2020.
Yes, in 2020.
So what happened? Okay, you said that in 2020 because you weren't actually physically going to church, that you lost some of the interest. What happened after that?
After that, I'm a lover of music, long time. So I always wanted to become an artist or something music related. So when I stopped going to church, I was doing dancehall music and so on. I used to do reggae too. I have some reggae songs. And I was walking in a crowd where, most of them do like drugs, smoke, weed and so on. But I get to find out that weed is not for everybody.
What happened?
So I had a bad experience with weed. Like I was smoking for actually a year, and one particular day, but I go to a location and purchase a bag of weed. I don't know what is wrong with that weed. But I smoke that weed. It's like I'm here, but I'm not really here.
So that was your first time you'd smoked weed?
No, no, not the first time. I've been smoking for a year.
You've
Nothing
been
happened to me.
smoking weed even while you were attending
For a year.
church.
No, no, not
So
when I
when you did
stopped
a
going to
smoke
church.
weed? Oh, oh,
2021, I started.
okay. That's very interesting. Let me ask you this, Javoy. Okay, so you went through that and it was a traumatic experience for you. Before I ask you that, tell us how traumatic that experience was for you.
I had multiple panic attacks, anxiety attacks, depression, deep depths of depression where I was getting suicidal thoughts, and I feel disconnected from even reality and myself and my thoughts. It's like I'm just here, but I'm not functioning, not feeling anything. I was disconnected from reality basically and from myself and from emotions.
I understand that. And was that over an extended period of time or was that just a couple of times after smoking weed?
It was for 9 months after smoking the weed.
So you smoked the weed one time and had this adverse effect after that?
No, I was smoking it for a year. Nothing
Okay.
happened
Okay.
until one particular day I went and smoked a buy a weed at a location and smoked that weed and that happened
You know
for nine
something?
months.
We're talking about this happening during the COVID time. And I don't know if you know, but statistics show that a lot of Jamaican men suffered serious depression during that COVID time. Were you depressed while you fell into this?
Yes, I was depressed. Couldn't get anywhere, and life itself, life is not really easy when you don't born with gold spoon in your mouth. So life itself was stressing me out. So I always hear also when you smoke weed, it helps you with stress and so on and help you to cope. So that was one of the main reasons why I started to smoke.
Okay. Well, they said the same thing about rum too. But and cigarette too. But your experience taught you otherwise.
My experience was terrible,
Oh my goodness.
very terrible. Almost destroyed me.
So
You
how
know,
did you come around?
ah, lot of prayer and just a lot of prayer and meditation. I meditate a lot because that enhances the the consciousness in your brain when you meditate, you know. And it was a rough time.
Well, you're
And
fortunate that you were able to, what you say, meditate or
I
medicate?
was meditate. I was
Well, you were
meditating a lot.
you were very fortunate to be able to meditate, especially after feeling that anxiety and depression.
Yes, it wasn't easy at all. I had to, I was fighting my own self because I realized that our minds can become our biggest enemy and destroy us, you know. So it wasn't easy, but I decided that I wasn't gonna give up on myself.
Wonderful. Good, good. Did you have help?
Yes, I have help from my family and church, you know. Church and my family played a big part in it.
Okay. I'm sure after you came back to a certain level of consciousness, you had to go very deep inside of yourself because that must have taught you some serious lessons about yourself. What did it teach you about yourself?
Uh, that I should be myself. I should try to fit into a crowd that is not me. Because
Right,
at the point in time, I know that that wasn't me. And if
right.
you don't be yourself, you don't exist. You should be yourself. If you try to be somebody else, you're not fulfilling your purpose on earth. You try to be somebody else.
So
So I
true.
really learned that, and I should stick to what I know I am supposed to do.
And my other question to you, we're going to take a break soon, but my other question to you would be this. How did it help or improve your relationship with the Almighty? Because an experience like that should tell you that you weren't as close as you really thought you were. So, how did it actually improve your personal relationship outside of anybody else with the Almighty?
Well, in life, when you reach to a point where there's just darkness and nobody else around, no human being around you cannot help you. You realize that they cannot help you. The only source of hope and comfort is naturally gonna come from God. As
Exactly.
a human being, you're gonna
Right.
realize that only God can help you at this point.
Right.
So that's the one of the biggest reason why I'm still here because when I pray and leave it in God hands, I have some form of hope that I will get better.
I love how
So
you put it.
that's when I really got close to God and know that God is real. I always heard about God, but I know God for myself. No,
Right. You know, wow, Javoy, this is a very interesting conversation. You know, we've always heard about taking a personal walk with God. And a lot of people tend to take a personal walk with the person, or them take a personal walk with the church. But now you realize what a personal walk with God looks like.
indeed.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you for your honesty and your openness. We're going to take a commercial break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about your love for music. All right? Thank you very much. And if you've just joined us, we're having a Zoom conversation with Javoy Barnes. And he is from Westmoreland and grew up in a community called Smithfield on Wharf Road. So, Javoy, growing up as a child, you always loved music. We lost you. Hold on. We're not hearing you. I wonder if it's my fault.
You hear me now?
Yes, yes, I am. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. I was saying I love music from birth, from a child. No, going to church and I fell in love with the drum set first. The drumming. That was the first instrument I started to play until I go on to the piano and I go on to the guitar, the bass guitar, the lead guitar, the acoustic guitar, you know. And I started singing at an early age too. So I just love music from birth.
All right, so you play the drums. That means you play the instrument and you also love to sing. Which did you really want to do? Instruments or to sing?
Well, at first, I wanted to play the instruments because I didn't get this calling as yet.
Right.
I wanted to play the drums especially at first.
Right.
And until I was about 19, a gentleman inspired me. I heard him playing a song of himself. And it inspired me to start to write songs. So that's how I started to write songs. But it wasn't gospel at first, it was reggae. So I used to sing reggae and nobody really got the attention. But the few that heard the songs loved the song. And I switched from reggae and go to dance. Everybody loved the dance song, but I still didn't get the break because uh, you really take links and certain things like that to really get out there when you're not financially stable. The dance hall didn't work either. But it
Right.
was when I had the bad experience with the weed and God called me back to come to church and you know minister for him and spread the gospel where I started to sing gospel and it has been great.
Okay. You say here that during the state of limited consciousness was when you got close to God and started to walk with Him from that day. Do you think, you see, because you mentioned limited consciousness, and that being the time that you really went up, took a deeper dive, do you think that your experience was ordained so that you could get closer to the Almighty?
Yeah man, I really think that. And by the way I know that because it was something supernatural. If I should explain what I felt and what I think and what I saw, it would sound not real to certain people.
And because you know now that you can overcome from such a dark place, has it boosted your confidence as a human being, as a God fearing human being?
Yeah man. I no longer have no fear. I don't have any fear. I was normally a shy, laid back person, you know. Maybe that's why when I was doing the other music, I didn't reach certain level because of the laid shyness. No, I'm very confident. I'm a very confident person, stronger
Right.
spiritually, mentally, and physically.
Right. And you have to be so careful about what you take into your body, especially as somebody who you just described yourself as shy and laid back, which means that you're a very sensitive person. And if you are the way you describe yourself, you have to be very careful about what you use to enhance your personality.
Yeah, man. That's what I didn't know before now.
Yes.
That's what I didn't know before now. But experience, teach it wisdom.
Absolutely. All right. So how far are you now? Now you want to be a gospel. You're sure that you want to be a gospel recording artist. How far are you on your way to becoming one?
I have a YouTube channel. It's almost 2,000 subscribers, and I get over no 5,000 views on certain streams on certain songs, and the feedback, the comments, and what the listeners are saying, it really give me the push to do more. So I guess I could say it's going on good so far. It has only been like 6 months or 5 months since I started.
What about your voice
And
quality though? Because let me tell you why I ask you this. Because you know as well as I do that singers who come out of the church can sing. Okay, really, really sick. So, what have you been doing about your voice and the quality of your voice to match the level of these gospel singers who oftentimes are awesome?
Well, I have been singing for a while, like for years. So I've been practicing. At one point, I wanted to go to enter Rising Star because I love singing. I was always practicing, always practicing. I sing almost every part, like harmony, and I sing. I used to sing into a cappella groups. When I was going to Godfrey Stewart, I used to enter JCDC. I was on the choir. So I've been training a lot, and I believe I'm not at the highest point in singing, but I believe I'm at a point where I can represent um Javoy.
I love that. Okay, fine. And you mentioned that you write. And it just seems to me, life is never black or white. It just seems to me that although I'm sure you would not have chosen your experience, it seems to me that now you have a lot to write about.
That's right. About most of the songs that I have out right now is uh inspired by my experience that I had.
And you're getting the support from your people, right? Your
Yeah,
church,
man,
your
I'm getting
community.
yeah, man, I'm getting the support, and I also I also produce. I'm my own producer. I produce music, mix and master and everything, and compose the rhythm and everything.
Right. I'm sure you have found out how therapeutic music is.
Yeah, man. When I was going through the depression and the anxiety, I listen to a lot of Bob Marley. I've always been a Bob Marley fan because I love positive things. I love the nature and I love positive music. I don't like negative things. So I was always a conscious person. I don't like violence. I don't like anything that is negative from a child.
Right.
At one
Right.
point I was about I was thinking about becoming a Rasta area. I started to grow my locks and everything, but I'm just working with God.
All right. You know what I'd love to hear, even if you don't sing it, but you can sing it if you want. But I would love to hear some of the lyrics that you've written. Can we hear that?
Yeah, man, can hear that.
Let's go.
You hearing me clearly, though. I'm not breaking.
No, I'm hearing you very clearly.
Thank you, because of me you were crucified. Now I'm brand new. I was blind, now I see the light. I am humbled for my sins. I apologize. You showed me what you would do if I changed my life. I was chosen. He said, my son, I won't leave your side. Lord, I trust you. You're the only God I give my time. I was broken. The devil tried to take my life, but I am covered under the blood of Jesus Christ. Oh, I am stronger. You give me strength to fight the fight. I am a soldier in the army of Jesus Christ. You deserve the honor. I'm so happy that I serve you. You deserve the honor. Lord, I give you praise. I'm so happy that I serve you. I am not ashamed. Guide my steps, oh Lord, as I walk with you. Times may get so hard, but I trust in you. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil. No, I won't fret. I can do all things through. Christ who strengthened it. No weapon that forms against me can take my breath, fight against those who fight against me. My God's gone to prepare a place for me. I was blind and I couldn't see. I was searching for love in the world.
Okay. You know something? I want to ask you. You wrote that one, right?
Come on.
Okay. Your writing is excellent. But would you be open to, because I know there are many musicians singing right now, listening to us right here now. Would you be open to getting the voice training that you need? Because your voice is good, but it's not quite there yet. But it is clear to me that it can be trained. Would you be open to, or humble enough to accept an invitation from any of the musicians out there to train that voice the way that it needs to be trained?
Yeah, man, I'm open, man. I'm open.
Okay, wonderful. And my final question to you would be, based on all that you've been through as a young Jamaican man, what would your advice be to other young Jamaican men who are, embarking on a journey, not quite sure if they're strong enough to move forward, but still moving forward? What's your advice to them based on what you've been through?
Well, I would say, don't turn to drugs for uh, a solution where you might feel like everything alright, because drugs filter out the real reality of life. When you're smoking weed and doing drugs, and it will make you feel like you don't want anything else in life other from what you have already. You know.
Yeah.
So consciousness is the best. So find ways to increase your consciousness and not to decrease it
Yeah.
with any chemical and negative energy. You know what I mean? And to have a relationship with the most right. Because
Right.
I've seen a lot of my prayers being answered. You
Mm-hmm.
know, prayer
Mm-hmm.
really works and that is real. So the moment when you have a relationship with God, your life will change for the better.
Right. Well said. Well, Javoy, thank you for sharing your story. I know it's not easy to share a story like that, but thanks for sharing it. And I'm so happy that you had the courage to meditate. I mean, the strength to meditate. And I'm also happy that you're overcoming your depression. I know it's not always just, a week or two. It takes time. So please be patient enough with yourself to go through the motions and to heal yourself in a timely manner.
Yeah, man. I have a question. Is
Sure.
there any way that I could that you get the recorded version of the song? Because
Yes,
uh
there is a way. Let me tell you how. Let me tell you how. Our producer got in touch with you, right? So
yeah,
you're going
man.
to get back in touch with our producer, and between you both, you find a way. She's going to tell you that you must put it on a CD, right? So we put them on a CD, and then I will listen to them. And just like how I was very honest with you a while ago, I'm going to be honest with you, because that's the only way that you're going to rise to the level that the Most High intended.
Yeah, man.
All right. Thank you so very much for sharing your story again, and all the best. Before we go, though, how can we find you on social media?
Yeah, man. Javoy Ministry on YouTube and Javoy Ministry on Instagram. I have a lot of songs out on YouTube, so you can check it out.
All right. Thanks again. Have yourself a wonderful day and stay strong.
Yeah, man. Same thing.
All
Bless it.
right. Okay. Interesting conversation. Okay, so we're ready now to connect with Beauregard, and Beauregard is in New York. We're streaming live as we speak, and we are now going to connect with Jam Radio in New York. Good afternoon, Beauregard.
Happy New Year, Mama Kelly.
Happy New Year to you too. You know, I forgot that we haven't said that.
Yes, we have not. We have not.
At least not on the radio.
No, not on the radio. Happy New Year, and to Jamaica, a Happy New Year to everyone tuned in right now to the Bridge 99 FM. Bless up yourselves, and of course, I wish each and everybody a prosperous New Year.
Thank you very much, and the same to you and your listeners and everybody listening your side.
Definitely. So how was yours, Mama Kelly? Let's start there. How was
my
yours?
New Year?
Yes.
Oh, mine started very well. You know that we had that Berry's Butcher show, and it was closer to my neck of the woods.
Yes.
So we actually started on Sunday. That was New Year's Day. Going to that show in Drax Hall. It was an amazing moment for reggae. And an amazing moment for players of instruments and singers in particular. Because by now you should have heard about the response of the show.
Yes, very positive, good feedbacks we're getting from this side. You know, everybody that's watching it on the YouTube who couldn't be there, like myself, you know, we saw a very great display of reggae music on the 1st of January at that intimate concert. Right. And I'll let you tell our listeners about it, Mama Kelly, because I was watching on YouTube, and you know I couldn't sleep through this one. I was actually I was very much glued to what was going on the YouTube, Mama Kelly, and down in the morning, who must step on the stage? The Mama Elise Kelly, man.
In a pretty frock. What do you mean? I want some people. I want some people. I don't know what
So I'm gonna let you tell our listeners about the show from start to finish, Mama Kelly. From your perspective.
Honestly, I didn't catch it from start. So I knew that I could not drive to a show like that because it was just going to be too much. So Sister Carol and Dino, I don't know if you know them, farm fairly close to where I am.
Yes.
So we plan say the church we're gonna go, right? Well, it was actually 4 away, but we go.
Yes.
So I said to Carol, make we leave about 9 o'clock. And she said, no. Make we leave about 8:30. Because the car them are going enough. My dear sir. We were in that traffic. So we left 8:30. We followed that advice and we left 8:30.
Sister Carol had the right idea because she knew about that New York traffic. So me is on New York traffic. No, I'm just saying when you have to leave early, a little extra early, forget where you want to go, Mama.
Well, me know about the traffic too. But to be honest with you, I don't think sis could have anticipated the kind of traffic that was there.
Right.
So we leave 8:30, which was an excellent idea. 9:30. Remember, I said Dino are driving and not me. So you can't say nothing more. Boy, I found it man I drive nothing like that. Coming on ready for me. If the mama show you a drive, I never me a drive. Our hardcore driver drive. Well, sometimes I say, Lord have mercy, Dino, mind police. Anyway, 9:30 we still up on the road. 10:30 we still up on the road. Remember, say I St. Mary, we live in a St. Antonio, so it's not a stretch. 10:30 we still up on the road, and I was invited to bring on Berries and Bojo.
Yes.
And when I kept trying to find out when they go come on stage, they must say 11 o'clock, and I'm like, okay, well, somebody is going to have to do that. So, because we stuck in a traffic, crazy traffic.
Yeah.
Anyway, we reached about 11:30. Just about, probably a little before that. So when I reached, it was, look here, the promoters are going to take flack for crowd control in terms of traffic. Them have to take flack for that. But at the end of the day, I don't think they could have anticipated the kind of crowd that was at Grizzlies. That's the same place where we have Rebel Salute. But let me tell you something. There was actually absolutely no parking. And you know, it's a huge venue. Ramp from corner to corner. And they could have navigated the traffic a lot better. Let me just say that. Anyway, I was supposed to pick up tickets backstage. That looked like an impossible feat. We just want to say enough respect to the 2 police officers who we kept saying, you know, we're supposed to bring on the thing, and system keeps saying, MC in a car in the car, that's the ugly way. Go away before we get through the traffic. Yeah. So there were 2 police officers backstage, and they could have easily just said, there is just no way, whatever. The 2 man, them just nice. Right? So
Big up those two officers. Yeah.
Oh God, man! One little baby parking space left. We never even see it because it was right where the police officers were, and no, we didn't have our car pass yet. None of that. So there's no way we could have parked there. So right. So one of the police officers said, "We can park there." So, you know. Oh, yippee! So we're fine. So we're fine. No, but we have to bless them up. Yeah, so we push in the car, find like a parking space, and we still not a pass. And you know, it was just guided, right? So eventually, Ronnie, who is Bujo's publicist, came. But by the time Ronnie came, the police officers did everything to get us to a point where either pass which part we're supposed to have passed. Anyway, we got in. Got our passes, got in. Ram.
Nice.
Taurus on stage, mashing up the place. I mean, before that was Sister Marcia Griffiths. She was not well one at the time, but in spite of all of that, she was outstanding. You know, Marcia.
Yes.
Marcia going to give her her best.
The dancers out there.
Right.
Had some people dancing with her, yeah.
Right. You know, so we did interview Mitch, right? And him tell me, so we're going to on the show.
Yeah.
Right. Mitch, when me come in and me see Mitch, me say, Mitch, what go on? He said, well, I'm going to mash up that. I said, all right, I said, a word. So as soon as me come in, I went right into Marcia's dressing room. Because, you know we are Marcia, right?
Yes.
And she'll tell you a fair story and thing. But right beside Marcia's dressing room was Lust's dressing room.
Okay.
So them people over, and he was say, Mama! Mash that! You remember them telling us that they were going to be on the show, right?
Yes.
So the two people who told us that we were going to be on the show, Lust and Mitch, did a fantastic job. Marcia did a fantastic job. And of course, I mean, there are not enough words to describe what happened with Butcher and Burris. Well, I was as in the dark as the patrons, because I thought I was going to bring on Butcher. But I was told that there's something different happening tonight, and I'm like, Lord of mercy, everything my plan for said just mash up. So what is going to happen now? Me I go like, the ultimate professional. Of course, me a trembling because me I say, what go happen?
Yeah.
So really and truly, what I was told is not to let the audience or the patrons know that it was really going to be a set that was shared between Bujo.
Nice.
And
Burris. Yeah.
So this is a first.
I didn't know that either, Mama. Watching what you were doing and not mentioning the artist that was coming out. I didn't know if it was going to be Burris or Bujo either.
Right.
So I was just waiting to see what was taking place.
So I was instructed not to tell anybody.
I figured there was something different about the way you made the introduction.
Right.
Yeah.
So you remember at one stage we kept saying, who do you think going to come, and who has a Bujo, who has a Burris? And then there was this sister at the on that side, she depended, it's Burris and Bujo are going to come, and I can't even look for she because she have it down,
So you can't trick me.
You can't trick my mama. So anyway, what happened was that the Harmony House band was on stage first, and then Burris came out. Of course, the thunderous applause.
Yeah.
And by the time Burris could settle down a little, Bujo run out. and the two of them, when Bujo run out, believe you me, Grizzlies mash up. Grizzlies not good again. You understand?
Anytime. Go ahead, Mama.
And they did their thing for a while, and then Bujo came off the stage, and then Burris worked.
Yes.
And then when Burris worked a full set, while he was still on stage, Bujo came on. They did a few songs together, and then Burris came off.
Nice.
And then Bujo did his thing, a full set. Two of them just amazing. And then when Burris was working, Popcorn came on. It was a singer's night. Yeah. So you see, although Popcorn came on, say, sing with Burris.
Yeah,
and say, him can't go half key because Burris no idiot thing with no way. So say Popcorn dip on him key. And he must sing with the chairman of the board, he must sing with,
Yeah,
and he did very well. Yeah. So you see, when Bujo came on now, when Burris met back Bujo on stage now, before Bujo came on, Burris was singing I Live Again. No, that is a song where you have to be singer if you can sing them thing there. When Bujo came on now, me not tell a lie, me crossed every single finger and toe when me did have, because I said, Bujo, I go sing them the song there with Burris. Him sing it with him. And you
nice,
miss a note. And you know say Barry Snow in that idiot thing.
No, man.
So you know say it have a dip and key. Dip and key. So it was a wonderful night to see the singers being celebrated and
Yes.
the DJs singing with the singers.
Yes, Mama.
It was just amazing.
You took the words right out of my mouth. It was an amazing night. I was taken away by everything that I saw. You know, the crowd, first of all, the people in attendance, you know, some celebrities in the crowd, the Prime Minister being there and his family. You know, the wonderful performances from all the artists, the guest performers. Everybody did an exceptional job. And, you know,
Right.
I just have to say hats off to the promoters, the Jabba and the team. You know, it was a great look. Real good look.
Right. And of course, you know, New York was represented because I remember would you put the mic individually to some of the ladies that were in front screaming off them face. And him says, "Where you come from?" "St. Mary!" "New York." Big up yourself, New York.
Yes, I'm tongue in a go on, Mama.
Me a tell you.
Oh, man.
You're right. It was really good.
That was a great start to the year, and I hope to see that, you know, these type of concerts throughout the year, you know, come forward in Jamaica with great performances, and you know, who need to step up them game and do what they need to do, and just cherish and love and protect the music, because that's what it's all about.
That's
the
what
music.
it's all about, and that is what the whole night was about. It was about the fact that we're alive and well. We still have an excellent genre. We must all be custodians of the genre. We must never let it die. And this is the stuff that we're made of. So when we were coming out of the venue, we just felt proud to be Jamaican, because sometimes we don't feel as proud as we want to feel. Well, you see, Sunday night, every head up high.
Proud moment.
Proud moment.
Yeah, man. So it for go, Mama. So it for go.
Right.
Are we gonna take a break, or do we have
Yes, I think we're going to take a break and then we come forward.
time? All
All
right.
right. So good afternoon, Milton. Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I am very well. You're a little low. Your volume is
low.
Oh, there you go. The volume is higher now. All right. Yes.
Oh, okay. Yes, Mama. Give thanks. First
All
and
right.
foremost, I must say blessings to you for the 23rd and beyond, you know. And and also
right.
to the next host over there in New York, Mr. Beauregard, Irish
That's
Jam
right.
family. Big up.
That's
Big up.
Greetings and welcome, King. Welcome.
Aye.
See you there.
Right. All right. So for those listening again, we want to say enough respect to our listeners in New York. So this is our streaming, and we're going to be having a conversation with Milton Blake. Milton, you are originally from St. Catherine, Jamaica, and you started voicing on a sound system. Take us back to the days when you was a little youth, where you're there St. Catherine, not quite sure where. You can tell us where in a St. Catherine, and you sing on sound system.
Yes, well, I'm from a community called Central Village.
A lie.
A popular community. You don't know. Yeah, all that thing they go. Yeah, man. So, you know, growing up in that community, I brought up in the church. You know, I'm a Sabbath keeper. So, you know, we brought up in the church, going to the Seventh-day Adventist church. And you don't know, with grandma, we're kind of strict on their rules and regulations. But after growing up, I reached a certain age now, we can't touch the road. Yeah, so there was a community-based sound system, by the name of Runner Tone Hi-Fi, where, you know, every Friday and Sunday night, it always play. So, being in the community, you don't know, as a youth, we get the opportunity to really go and exercise our talent on that sound system. And, you know, we have the likes, like you have Admiral Tibet, Admiral Tibet, you have lived in the area too, John Wayne, them, you have Dirtsman, them, and Papa San, them coming from Spanish Town. So it was a sound system very popular. A lot of artists back in those days usually come through, you know. So that's it. As a youth in the community now, I got the opportunity to really go and voice out and express myself. you know. So during that time, that's where I really developed, you know, singing back, you know, I didn't know how the love song them drop or start sing them song then. And, you know, those were the days, you know.
How old were you? How old were you at this time?
Yeah, at the time I was about 16, 17 coming up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. But it started out even younger, because I started singing for the church, and then you write composition, and, you know, little fet school thing and them little thing. You know, them thing they go on. And them days, you know, me a great dancer, you know, spin pan head and all them.
I'm joking, bro.
Most of all, I look at them in a Spanish town, all about KC, where they all about the dance as youth and youth. You know what I think? Yeah.
Nice. But you know, here we go again. Another artist who tells us that he started in the church. Let me tell you something. You see this church thing, and a joke thing, you know, they are responsible for so many careers. So that's why the church keep coming up. So that's where you really realize that you could have sing.
Yes, start from this, you know. You know, choir boy. We never really baptized, but we are choir youth and thing, and I hold the vocal and I do a thing. And, you know, we started listening to the radio and because to tell you, Dennis Brown is my favorite artist as a youth coming up, you know, with all them, you know, if Stop Your Fussing and Fighting You, and them songs really gravitate to my soul. And you know, listening to Dennis Brown now and even John Holt, them, and those are the type of the song them kind of listen as a youth at a tender age, some kind of uplifting singers with uplifting music.
Right.
You know, and and I'm just say, yo, I want to be like Dennis Brown, you know. You know, every song the man they sing like a hit song. Every song a hit song. I want to start write some song in a vibration where people can get the message and still can dance and feel jolly when you hear the song. You know, and it's still positive. And as you know, some start put pen and paper together. And so you don't know we have a little, you know, a little knowledge, you know, because we go to St. Catherine High School, so vocabulary not too bad. We can put little thing together and think and look at grammar.
Same school as the Prime Minister. That same school as the Prime Minister, it better not too bad.
Yeah, so we can put little things to words together and make it, you know, So and the Almighty bless you with the melodies and the words and, you know, living and seeing things happening here and there, we can really write composition about these things. Yeah.
So being around the sound system now and you being around the artists, were there anyone around you that was like your competition? You don't have to call them name, but were there other singers around you, like young singers, where you were saying to yourself that, you know, I have to do my best anytime this other person's about?
You know, sir, to be honest, I'm the top singer in my community, you know.
See there?
See, so no competition never did it. It was always, and then time and call me Little C. And I tell you now, the C come from even the piano keyboard, the C chord. So
really?
It was like Miggle C, which is from the musical note, to Little C, to Jamaica and them time I dance the disco business now and, you know, and them little thing there. And what was named Little C. See? And them things, you know. So in my community now, I'm the top singer. You have an ex-virgin now, we just sing like tenor star, we call him Niner star. You know?
I don't catch 10 yet.
You don't hear the know about that. In New York, hopefully I listen to the thing, because I send him the message to Little thing.
Niner saw.
Yeah, Niner star. In the go and good too. You know?
Niner star, bless up yourself.
Yeah, in the airport, man, so supposed to hear you. See, and we have an ex-virgin now with the bus out too. He may bus out big to still. Ronnie Tweet.
Yes, remember.
The
wickedest time when we're in the fall.
I always grew up, you know. But, you know, he was from the other side, you know, on the hillside, and me, the one the next flat side, see. And you don't know that thing that go on even again now, a community with a political vibration, there, which, you know, it kind of split the community in two, you know.
Hold on, little Milton. Where you say a while ago? Ronnie Tweet over which side and you did over what side?
Well, straight over the hillside.
Oh.
And me up on the flat.
Oh.
Yeah, Ronnie.
When you say hill, what you mean? Upper Sufferer side? What you mean when you say
right, Sufferer side, mama.
Okay.
Right
there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, you know, so we kind of have that vibe that whereas now we have some youth with me, you know, you have a virgin named Kata Warrior, you have Carter Wang, Seen, myself, Nina Sa, and the next artist that died, Gregory Peck. I don't remember that artist, Gregory Peck. Yeah, he died, right. You know, we were on the flat, and then now you have Ronnie Tweet them, John Wayne, and these are the guys from over the hillside now. Saying so with the same sound system base, every time we gather, it's like it was, I just say, a competition. We have a little competition, but it's never really like a competition. But we know we are compete because we have to go hard. Every side I go hard, you know. So we are go hard, man, and thing. But it was very nice. Like I said, those days was really nice, even though the political vibration was on a hike and everything there. As we as musicians, we could have go everywhere. You know. Because I want to use the community. If I walk and a gunshot, a fire, two sides of fire, I come to me, everything I see is still me pass. That's all the respect is in the community until this day.
So,
you know, as a youth, you know. Yeah.
When did the talent start to take you out of the community now? You start travel around the country, you start move about and
all
things
right.
like that.
I've come still have to go bring in a partner now, I have to tell you about, because Lucian came and live in the community. Right beside the said sound system now. That's before him named Lucian, I was Stepper John. And both of us going to the same church. A matter of fact, his brother is the pastor of the church. Seeing Mr. McClimate. And you know, during them time, you know, we are sing on the sound. Lucian was singing like a lot of cowboy songs and them days before him was. A matter of fact, Stepper John, his name, Stepper John, not even Lucy. Now bring it to the root.
Yeah.
And we start do that now. So after being in the community and I reach a level of me develop now in a certain way, you know, I say, yo, I have to start hit the street and go in the city. So that was way back in 2019, coming up to the 2000, and we start go to and jam out at Mixing Lab. That on Dunbarton Avenue, Rye Francis, you know. Where me go buck up in a Sly and Robbie them now and all these greats and Steely and Cleavy. So me start jam around Steely and Cleavy at the time as all the way as youth around us, so with their own Steely, you know, with that, you know, Power Man, them man, you know. A bag of youth. Yeah, around Steely until even the girl when she came and get the break, Foxy Brown, she you know, when she came to that day, yeah, I want to tell a woman from Olaba, give her a name, that little fish lady we all buy fish from. And she's a girl
history, this, you know. Good history, this,
like
man.
Foxy. Yeah, and Steely says, see your name there? Foxy. And so she get the name Foxy Brown. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and so from them time there, now the you know, 2019, 2020 coming up, and them time we start hit the road now and start take it on because I kind of develop in a certain way, you know, where I kind of have the sense of cards and all them things. So I start take it to the street and start to hang out and spar on Steely them time there. And we did that. I did my first collab. What I did was with Major Mackerel.
Okay.
Not Major Mackerel. Not Major Mackerel. Major Mackerel's brother.
Okay.
Bingy General.
Yeah.
It was a song, Steely, because even the rhythm will go, so many people want to see, with Freddie McGregor, that remix of the Far East.
Right.
It's my voice later, you know, in Mixing Lab, you know, when Steely, you know, they got the computer, because you know, it was the archive machine, them time they had chat. And Steely said, come in, Milton, come do, that's a little C, that's my name Milton, I say little C. Come in, little C, come, you know, I'm sing this song, Mother cannot help you, no. Papa cannot help you. It's only the Father can help you. That was an old time. That's a cover song, you know. Remember Dillinger one them long time artists they do that song. And
but you know,
and I laid, yeah.
Yeah, you know something. As we here listening to you, you know what you're bringing in the space. Beauregard,
yeah.
We're hearing the original, the Dennis Brown energy, the original roots rock energy coming out as him start sing a while ago. You hear the whole of that come out.
Yeah,
you know, rubber dub style.
Cut the chart. You remember the first time you interviewed me 2004, you know.
Yeah.
When I have a song on the our production, a virgin from Ochi did that. Where we leave the trees.
Yes. That's Chesedek.
And you give me a tune. You play my tune. This tune that I have purpose of. You give me a lot of energy from that song. And the one other song I did too for Enfield, which was Thank You. You give me a lot of energy. Back in them time, there a lot of energy you gave me on that. And we did this long interview, you know. And, you know, it's something when we live with, I said, why, Mama, give me an interview. Boy, I tell you, it was overwhelming them time there. You know, it's like, yeah, Yeah, you're putting on a spark, you know. I appreciate love it, man.
Give thanks. You know what I want to ask you, Milton? All right, you said that when you were a little C, you never have no competition in a central village. You run the place. But then when you came to Kingston now, you started moving with some real, high rollers in terms of the music. How did these reggae musicians, like the ones that you call, like the Roy Francis, the Steely and Clevie, how did they help you now to hold the talent that we know today?
All right. Where Steely is concerned now, as I said, I did that song with the collab, and I don't know where Steely do that song still. I know music go them time, the more time I drop the thing around, say that even know. But anyway, I never know. But I move on. I still chat in the street now. I would say we start back up different producers. I came across he play for Rude Reggae. This elder, he play guitar. He play guitar
China?
for Roots Radic. No, he
not
for
China.
Roots Radic though.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God, and him sing too. He's from the era where we have Boris Gardner and all these greats. My Lord, I can't remember. And I did a song for him too called "He Lives" on a various artists, compilation that he released in that day. Oh my God, I can't remember this man.
Don't worry about it. It will come forward.
Yeah, and when I did that, then I did the said song there I told you about a while ago for the Virgin in Ocho Royals. And then I start record, and I find myself now doing a lot of recording. And then being in the street now with Lucia and Mikey General too, I start to, we go here and there, and I start to voice, and then it start, a lot of my songs start pile up. There's no find I have a whole single now, like a lot of singles.
Right.
And, yeah, but for the real front, we are really get the full development of even productions. I have to lift my hat up for Dean Fraser, Luciana, a matter of fact, because being around Luciana, I get the artist to be in the studio when Luciana doing all these great albums in his career coming up, So, we're being there with Fatis, the whole Exterminator crew, Sizzler come on along as a youth named Khaki Clothes, come the toe, and, the whole I was there, and the development started. And it was a thing where Fatis now, because a camp, and him start focus on Luciana. So Luciana was the main man for bust out before anybody. So that's how the thing set. Everybody can bust one time.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and but during them time there, I hold my fort, and me still I learn the techniques, I'm still a record. As I say, hats up to Dean Fraser, because being around him, even that song you just played, it's me record it, it's me mix it, Rubber Up style, me mix it, everything.
I don't cut you, Milton.
Yeah.
Is the name Dwight you're looking for?
Dwight Pickney.
Guess what? Let me tell you how we know. Let me tell you how we know. It says, no. You see, this conversation here is being listened to by various musicians. And Paul Douglas, who is in the Toots and the Maytals band, him just text me a while ago, Dwight. I mean, no, him I go lick him.
Yeah, man. Father Dwight, man. That Godfather, that big up Sir Dwight. Yeah, you have to big up Dwight,
Right.
You and the road, and yeah, man, Doug, that Dwight was like a family, going home, meet him wife, and, nine yard and them thing there.
Right,
yeah,
right.
yes, man. Big up Dwight. So as I said, the journey go on, we're as we start to like a recording, and we start move around. There's a time now, Mikey General make a trad, and we are pass the boulevard, and now I go through on Bobby Digital way there. Name soul rest in peace, Mr. Dixon. And me I pass now, and me and Mikey I drive, and me beside him, and I go through, and Bobby come down and stop the car. Yo! Oh, singer! Oh, the man who want to come sing for my rhythm then, but me have to know me my car. So, me just say Mikey my car. So, Mikey said, Blake, are you the man talking? And I said, Mr. Dixon, how you do, sir? And I said, yo, you come sing for me thing, them, so, at the gate now, you have Jack Radix is out there and some more Virgin. I think Mikey Mike too, with Bass and Gan was at the day, and
Great
the support of the vehicle say, all right. But there, we have around there, I go around the studio there and put on a thing. And I sing a nice Flowers Rock song. I mean, right there on the spot, the thing just make out of my head. And from that, me and him started some work. Bobby Pass and Ghana, I have about 8 tracks that we started at work, to be done, you know. Mafia and Flux them did a lot of beautiful rhythms and, you know. And like the man know him how drop out mama. Like the man said to me, say, Milton, say if anything happen, my son will continue with the project, you know.
Wow.
That Mr. Dixon said to me, you know.
Wow.
You know? And my father died and I went down to Jamaica, and when I went down there, Bobby took sick. So I couldn't get to see him. I went to the studio and because I want to finish the project before me come back in the theater. And Bobby was sick. And I would talk to him via the phone. So I'm not going to get to see Mr. Dixon again, you know? And things like that. So that project there, you don't know. And you know, so I don't know where my son really do. Me and my son kind of link now and then, but you know, you know the youth them young and they made them all over the place.
Yeah.
See?
Why you tell an interesting story, Milton?
We can write the book on the street, you know.
Yeah, man. Yes, and that's where I get right now. That's where I get.
We can tell the whole story.
Nice.
We've been through it. We there dance, I pick up buckle, we there, I try hang on for a piece of cane joint, and we artists I send out and we take the change and go eat food. Yeah, we can tell the whole story, how we walk, how we climb. I remember so much rain, chop back. All them youth I see nowadays, they not go up and chop back, I wait up and I chop all in, I pack up. Remember, me I come from when me have to pack up sound, you know.
Yeah.
Then me still have to come back and sing in the night, you know.
Beauregard, you ever pack up sound yet?
Of course, Mama Kelly.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, man. Box drop on my toe, box drop on my finger, everything.
All right.
Go in a tree, put up things, put up steel and come on, we come from Chubam's days, you know. Remember, we are not computer youth. We are come from the grassroots and the business. That's why I say anything we are do have to be up to par. No shortcut in the music. No shortcut.
Milton, speaking about being through it, we have to take a commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to discuss your album, which is Fend, and I want to talk to you about going through the pandemic. All right, so we're going to take a break and come back. Yes.
Right.
Thank you very much for rejoining. And in case you've just joined, we are having a conversation, we meaning Beauregard and I, we're having a conversation with crooner Milton Blake, and him really carry through the journey. So,
yes,
yeah, man.
So, Milton, we was talking about the journey, and part of the latest journey that the whole world has been through is the whole pandemic. You know, a lot of people were on 100 and the pandemic brought them back to 0. And then you have some people who were on 0 and the pandemic actually brought them to 100. So, you know, there were good times and bad times. There were positives and also negatives. How did the pandemic affect your journey?
Yes. Well, to be honest, it was good, real good. You know, me good here, sir. I was blessed. And what the pandemic has done for me is not me sit back and I'm looking at our studio and just make a lot of reggae music.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I sang at least, I have like 3 albums right now I can release, you know. I not write another note right now, I sing another note. All I have to do is go do some overdubbing and do the finishing touch.
As an artist who busy like that, quite a few artists have been saying that, and apart from even artists, just people generally have that experience of being able to go in themselves because they can't go out the door. What would normally be happening during that time make you couldn't even get to write as many or accomplish as many songs, writing songs? What would normally
happen? What could really happen? You take away now, you know, more time, even the job, because you know, and that again, as a man knows, they don't America too, and even as an artist, they have what is 9 to 5, because you have to pay tax and all them things there. So, you know, most of the youth them know them things there. They're different vibe than over there in Jamaica. We just get up and we run to our studio, we come back home, food upon table and everything. We run outside that kind of different vibe. But it's good, you know, it's still good. You know, it's great. And that not different from my music. That not different me none at all. Because apart from music, even when I'm there in Jamaica, Lucia and Mike have to come take me off from me there up a Kansas Spring work. I'm a trade man, you know. I'm full blown straight man, A1. I start from making furnitures. See? They make the best set of furniture them as a youth. See? Right. And then I went on to start work on site and construction, the field of construction. See, I work in a company in Jamaica named Surrey Construction. See? And we do most of them work up at waterworks and all them. And them big hotels up on the rock. I do whole work on them place that I youth. And that never still differ me from done my work and they are mixing by evening time. And their studio. It never stopped me. Never ever stopped me. So I always try to find time for the music. No care what. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. You know, because bills have to pay, food have to eat, so I have to do that. And then I want to tell you, so when me drop my tool them, is when me kind of see a little light at the end of the tunnel now. I'm going to start flex now, I'm going to Lucian, I'm going to start travel, I'm going to come to America, I'm going to go this, I'm going to go to the Caribbean, I'm going to do a little show. And then I'm going to drop my tool, you know.
When you drop it, you what?
When I drop the tool there is when I see a little light at the end of the tunnel of the music, yeah. I'm going to start travel now, I'm going to say, wait, I'm music, let me travel. I get my first visa. I don't know what music give me that time. I say, what? I start move around now in the street with Lucian, you know, show here and there and thing. So I drop the tool.
And during that time you were
difference now. Boom, come America now, you have to take your time.
Yeah.
So you have to, it's like a renaissance, which is rebirth. So we have to start from scratch again, come back up. You're in a different place, you know. First, I try to learn the mental capacity of them people, are different people with different thinking, different action, different everything.
I love that.
Yeah, it's a different zone. So you have to try to tap into all them flex. All of them time of vibration. I remember we are Rasta. So you know, we are Rasta. So I kind of think I come from all angle, all devil business that come and attack you from every side. You have to just firm. And, you know, we learn the root of the people them. And then, you know, during this process of time, me find myself a little job, get myself together, job bless me, get myself comfortable, get my studio, boom, boom, boom. I'm going to go back in my journey, my music again.
Never to be deterred. That's what I love with you, you know. Never to be deterred. Always focused.
Focus, mama. We not let go the banner.
Right.
When Luciana came here, them come up and Luciana come to my house and say, boy, Blake, who them go to make you have studio? You're killing them with music now.
Speaking of the music, Milton, tell us about the new album, Fend.
Yes.
Oh, Fend. Yeah, man. You have to fend for yourself. Because you know what I mean of Fend, right? To do things without the help of others. Yeah, that's why that come out when I real my journey of my life and say, oh, Blake, come here to really make it known to the public. Come here, one nice, I could just say, good singer. See, you know, good singer who we never really get no management behind we. Anything you say I happen out there, we are popular yourself. I have to say, the 9 to 5 support what I do in music. Yeah. Me never get that person who say, yo, see a talent there. Me could invest in him now. See, it's me investing in self. So that's why this album just came across. Fend. I'm say, yeah, Milton, it's a journey. And you have to take yourself there in the journey.
So how long has the album been out?
The album has been released this year early, from April. So it's young. It's very young. Yeah, and it go on with some more things. I get a lot of reviews, you know, international reviews, you know, France and all them things. They say Virgin, they have it on a chart where they at number 5, and you know, enough more up a magazine write up and thing, you know, powerful write up.
Yeah.
And this album is really some songs that I did for other producers. So it's just say it's a compilation.
Right.
You know?
Can I tell you something? A colleague of mine who actually works from New York, Troy Fenton, sent me a compilation CD with various tracks on it. And there were 2 songs from Milton Blake on the album. And it was when I was reading your message that you sent to me, I'm realizing that look here. You see the song Looking for Love that you did over? That one is one that I have been playing that one like crazy. But I did not know it was on the new album. Let me tell you something, Milton. You saw you deal with Looking for Love. You deal with it mad. Jano.
Give thanks, Mama. We want to find the love, man. We are hustle it.
That's right. You find it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, you deal with it sweet. But we don't really love a copy of the album, the whole album, because we just have them burn off thing. When we play, that's how could I get for even play the song when we play before and they're looking for love when we go play now. I try, my colleague in New York saying me that from way up in the ear.
Yeah, well, as I say, when we finish, you can send me the email and if you want the thumb drive or you want the CD. Just let me know.
Thumb drive. No, not so. Hear me bossy. Give Beauregard the thumb drive. Give me the CD, Milton. I'll show off myself.
Yeah. All right. I think I might have some CD down there,
Nice. Beautiful. Send me one of them.
I think I might have some CD. I make it reach you,
Right.
Yeah.
We have to wind up now. So what would be your final words to your fans, to those people who dip on the journey with you all this time?
For each and all the virgins, them and the one them on the street, them Maccabee and all of them youth, the Babatun, the whole works, the youth them hang on all the Gideon. Just keep pushing forward, man. Don't give up. See, I never give up, I'm not the real me. For you say Rasta, you have to strong. Just keep pushing, keep focused, no let go your dream, no matter where you go and keep the music clean. Mama,
right. Yes,
love that,
me kind of shame promise to the music deter and drift on a little vibration. Yeah, it really drift real bad. But with there I can straighten it. A lot of good youth there we can strengthen it. As long as we get the strength and make our voice be heard, as we are the foundation of the music,
Milton, I feel it's a the year for the singers. I feel it's a 23 of the year for the singers. Let me just read one last thing before we leave. It says, Mama Soul, bless up. Beauregard, Happy New Year, my family. Heights up the singer, real foundation artist who has a lot of history under his belt, but more so hail up Nina Sa. Watch out, Bridget. We can't bother, we don't know them.
Yeah, big up Nina Sa. Yeah.
So right. we don't want to come out without we play a little piece of Looking for Love, Seeing?
All right, Mama, give thanks.
Bless up, Milton.
Yes, nice I would like to link up with you, send me a request for the face people and we can take it from there, you see?
No problem.
All right.
Nice. All right, Mama, give thanks again.
Big
up to all the crew, all the Jamaican people, the youths, put on the gun, take up love,
sir.
Walk with love, run with love, eat love, one love.
Sir.
So last year I bless.
Bless you. Wonderful. Thanks for linking with us. Wonderful. What a connection. What a sweet connection.
Yeah,
so we have a little bit of time. So you wrap up fast that we can get to play a little bit of the tune.
Well, Mama Kelly, have a wonderful weekend, and to everybody in Jamaica, be safe and just continue to be good this year and be great.
Nice, beautiful. And so we meet again next week, Thursday, most high willing, right?
Blessings.
Bless up yourself.